I think it's going to make people think. That's why I say I'm glad it came out in an election year. And I found a great contrast because there are scenes in there where he's dealing with protesters on campus.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so different than what happens today.
Oh, it is so different. Though when he went in there with dealt with the faculty, he's really mad. I mean, you see that. And then the way he dealt with the students afterwards, he had a real affinity for them at the same time. And it's amazing to me that it reminds me of 1979. The same elements that were going on in the world remind me of that, late 70s time that seemed to conspire and mirror the times of today. Reagan was, back in the day, like especially to my generation, the boomers, they either loved him or you hated him. It was like the way you either got along with your dad or you didn't get along with your dad. He was everybody's dad. And I think that's still pervasive today. There's dad issues that we had with him or that we loved.
But that is how America saw him. I mean, clearly they did. And he was the dad, and he didn't care if he wasn't trying to be cool. He was just the dad.
Right.
And God, that was needed at the time.
Yeah, it was.
It was so needed.
We could use a little bit of that.
Could we
today?
not?
Some grown-ups in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah. On both sides, too.
Did you ever think that we would see such an absence of statesmanship as we're seeing now, calling people names and all of that?
Cuckoo.
Yeah, it's just gone over the high side.
Well, I get it with are the American people the reflection of the president or the other way around? Somebody said that America gets the president it deserves sometimes about the state of where we are. And I don't know, we long for this or that, but there's no going back. Excuse our progress, but there's, you can complain all you want about change, but that's not going to stop it. And I think the thing to do is to go with it and make the best that you can do. Be an example yourself. Starts with each of us. It's all local.
Yeah, I always say it gets to the point where you decide what you're going to do with it. Politics are local, politics are personal. At some point, everybody decides what's in this for me and my family.
Mm-hmm.
And then it starts from there. And I don't know politics. I don't want to know politics.
I don't either.
I just think it's all cultural.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it starts. That's where it ends. It's going to be interesting. I did an interview with RFK Jr. a few days ago, and he has some interesting theories about things.
Mm-hmm.
I've interviewed Trump, and I have a request in to interview Biden. And I'm not talking to him about policies. I'm talking to him about the culture and America and what this is going to do to society and all that.
It's so true. It is about cultural. It's about who we are, about how we see ourselves and how we deal with one another. And how did we get here? They're so divided.
I never thought in my lifetime I would see and hear on college campuses what I'm hearing now with all this anti-Semitism. And we're not teaching critical thinking. I see these posters, gays for Gaza. Seriously?
Yeah.
Why don't you walk that banner into the Gaza Strip and see how far you
long
get?
It lasts. I don't know. Are they teaching history?
Well, they're teaching their history that they made up.
Yeah.
But they're not teaching history. I don't understand. They're teaching equal outcome, not equal opportunity. They're teaching equal outcome. I don't get that. I mean, if you can sit home in a beanbag and eat Cheetos all day and you get the same outcome as a guy that's working 14 hours a day, That doesn't work. We've proven that.
Right.
We got hundreds of thousands of corpses to prove that doesn't
Right.
work. But
And
yet that's what they're teaching.
doesn't make sense. It seems like it'd be a curiosity, because if we don't, I mean, the old adage of we are destined to repeat the mistakes of the past if we don't learn from them.
Well, probably the most core psychological principle known. I mean, this goes back hundreds of years. You don't reward bad behavior.
Mm.
You just don't reward bad behavior. You reward those things you want to see more of. You don't reward those things you don't want to see more of. We pay people more to stay home than to work. And then the supply chain's frozen and everybody says, what happened? What do you mean what happened? You paid people not to work. Lassie could figure
Stuff
this
just
out.
shows up. I mean, don't we have all these delivery apps? I mean, why doesn't it work?
Yeah, it's insane to me. But you shot this movie in 37 days. That's people working.
You're right. We did. It seemed like, we were shooting it during COVID too. And I think we shot like 10 days, and then someone on the set got COVID. We had to shut down for a month and, come back for it. And then we shut down for a month, but what do you do? Because everybody was under quarantine, so you can't go home, you can't go here. Yeah, so it's basically got us staying in Oklahoma, and so it seemed a lot longer than it was. And then, of course, we went to the Reagan Ranch and shot there for quite a while.
You shot in Guthrie, Oklahoma?
Guthrie, Oklahoma.
It used to be the capital.
Yes.
Yeah. At one time, that was the capital.
A lot of things happen in Guthrie, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
It's got quite a history, but the whole town looks like pretty much like what Dixon, Illinois looked like. The Reagan's boyhood.
Well, this comes out August 30th. I'm telling you, this is going to be big.
Oh, your mouth to God's ears.
This is going to be big.
DrPhil.
I'm going to be all over this. I'm going to pump this like you won't believe.
Oh,
I want people to see this. We need a reminder of, and everybody looks back and says, oh, the good old days. I'm not saying things were perfect at this time,
No,
but
really weren't.
They were not. There was a lot going on, but there were some things then that it would be great to make everything old new again.
Mm-hmm.
There are some things from that era that we would do well to look back on and say it would be good to revisit that.
Right.
I mean, really.
Yes. I mean, the movie's not a love letter. I mean, the way that Reagan didn't handle AIDS very well when it came along. I mean, there was, Iran-Contra. There's, it's like a little borderline in that. But, there is no perfect life, as as I think, some Eastern European gangs say, there is no perfect crime. You just can't be pulled off. There's always a gremlin in there. But, what was incredible about Reagan is that it was not about issues. It was about principles.
Yeah.
That's where he came from. And if you come from principles, that'll be a guide through any era, through any fad, phase, whatever you have. That'll be the guiding post.